I'm 38 and I actually avoid people now more than ever before. I nowhere near socialize as much as I used to. I certainly don't make as much of an effort with people like I used to. And I also don't tolerate any bullshit, which unfortunately a lot of people bring into our lives. And if you are sick and tired of bullshit and want to join like-minded people who actually connect through truth and level up in the process, join my free community. It's called the No Bullshit Society. It's totally free to join. The link's in the description and pinned comment down below. So, I've really seen so many drastic shifts in people. And I obviously have interacted with millions of people through YouTube as well. I've got over 7 million views here. But the thing that makes me laugh the most is the generalizations and the stereotypes that we have for people are very, very true. For example, once a cheater, always a cheater. If someone cheats in any aspect of their life, they're going to cheat with you, in business and certainly in relationships. If someone's a pathological liar, who's the idiot there? The liar or us trusting and putting our faith in the liar? Putting your faith in a liar, again, professionally, personally, however you want to do it, is like building a brick house on the beach, on sand. There's no foundation there. And toxic people, narcissists and sociopaths, they're like wolves in sheep's clothing. I've even seen it in my, professional life where they come to me and they act all interested. They feel like they can help me. They feel like they want to work with me or whatever. And then they get called out on their bullshit. I see the mask slip and then they turn into, or not necessarily turn into, show their true ugly side. Now let's look at the average person here. People like you and me, people who've clicked on this video. What's our lives like at the moment? Well, doesn't matter where you are. The cost of living is very high. Things are extortionately expensive for most of us. That puts us under a lot of pressure. Our mortgage rates are going up. Our bills are going up. Food, and even the food is shit that we eat nowadays, but that's the case. That keeps us awake. That keeps us burdened. That keeps us tightening our purse strings and also makes us question whether or not we want to socialize in the first place. Before, we wouldn't even think twice about going out for a meal or even a breakfast. But nowadays you think, is it worth me spending my hard-earned money that needs to go to survival on just socializing and being around people for the sake of it? That's the first thing. Secondly, we are more stressed, more overworked, and more tired than ever before. Because life is tough, and no one told us this. We just assumed that we could breeze through it. We looked at our elders when we were younger, or we looked at other people and we thought to ourselves, do you know what? They can handle it, so therefore I can handle it. Do you know what? They can do it. Well, being an adult is easy. No, being an adult is hard. Especially, God forbid, if there's health issues. Especially when you get a lack of sleep. Especially when you've got newborns. Especially when you've got to have that rainy day fund you chip into because there's a roof that's leaking, or because the boiler is not working properly, or because of a harsh winter. And then, of course, there's the unresolved trauma. There's the pain. There's the suffering. There's the depression. There's the unanswered questions from the life experiences we've had. The betrayals, the setbacks, the scams, the stabs in the back, and so on. On top of everything else, we are juggling mentally, emotionally, and physically, even if we have, God forbid, injuries and so on. Life is hard. That's the whole point I'm trying to say to you. Life is hard. And then life can also change like that. And just when you think you're going in the right place, it will beat you back down to your knees, surprise you, and you go back 1,000 steps. And you keep saying to yourself, this is my year, this is my time, this is when it's going to turn around. And life just keeps denying you of that. When's it going to change? When's it going to end? Well, this is what we're battling with every day. This is what we're going through as adults, not just in the Western world, but all over the world. We are waking up and trying to survive. And if we are ambitious and we're trying to build something, a business, selling a product, trying to take off in some capacity, the battle gets even harder. As an entrepreneur myself, I would describe it as basically choosing to eat glass and stare off into the sunset, hoping that the pain and the bleeding and the gums and the teeth that are breaking will stop doing so. But you keep feeding yourself glass. So obviously you know how tough life is. But what's that got to do with people? When you are dealing with all of that shit, all of those burdens, all of those problems, and you go out of your way for even something as trivial as a coffee, and are met with passive aggressiveness, or is met with envy and jealousy, or you're stood up entirely, or better yet, you as an empath and a sensitive person put your burdens aside, drop everything to please and save and help others, and yet when you are going through the mire and you are in the ship, these people let you down. You have to think twice now as to who and why you're socializing. Who are these people? Are they friends? Is it someone you're dating? Is it family? I don't give two shits who it is. With all of what you're going through, and you're not a victim, you're just trying to get through modern living right here, right now, irrespective of your age. Is it worth it? Should I go out of my way to see these individuals who gaslight me, who manipulate me, who put me down, who don't support me, who treat me like a scapegoat, who break my heart, who make me cry? Ignore the trauma bond you have with these people. And of course, this is not every person, by the way. This is maybe the people you're surrounding yourself with, or have had to surround yourself with. And ask yourself, is it worth it? The answer is no. Because once you become your own best friend, once your circle becomes incredibly tight, that is when you realize that it is actually better to avoid the masses. To socialize for the sake of socializing is gaslighting. You're basically saying to yourself, well, I need to interact with people because otherwise I'm a hermit and I don't see people. So then you're forcing yourself to feel uncomfortable, fine, but you're doing it with arseholes. You're doing it with jerks. You're doing it with the wrong people. The irony in that is if you were going to meet someone that you actually wanted to meet, who actually listened and gave a shit and understood you, you wouldn't even hesitate. And that's where money doesn't matter. That's where budget goes out the window. That's where you make the time because it is not a burden. It is not painful. It is not difficult. It is not stressful. It is not uncomfortable. It is easy. It is simple. And it's straightforward. But only you know the answer to that question. For me, in past relationships especially, I put myself out with many, many problems in my personal life as well. Where did it get me? More stressed and broken. I walked away and avoided that toxic relationship. When I was grieving and going through a heartbreaking time, I had blood relatives cause me stress and anxiety, kicking me when I'm down. Do I need that shit when you're dealing with a tragedy? No. I avoided them and cut them out for years now. Best decision I've ever made. Others have done the same. I felt this obligation to have a best friend because that's what everyone has. Everyone's got a best friend. But what is a best friend? We're not in high school anymore. We're not in kindergarten. Not children. Of all the friends I've ever had, the best friend I ever had was myself. I know what I want. I know what I don't like. I can understand how I'm going through something and what to do about it. And irrespective of the people who've been there, obviously I've been there and you've been there every step of the way, every setback, every heartache, every pain. You've always been there. But you lived outside of yourself and looked at people hoping and praying that they're going to be the ones to save you, when unconsciously you saved yourself. So my social life is very minimal. I don't put myself out as much, and it's not a selfish thing, it's a protection thing. I know what it's like for 30 odd years going above and beyond for others. It's a burden. It's stressful. I still put myself out, but like I say, for a very small group of people who are on my level, like-minded, mutually respect me, and don't give me aggro and bullshit. Like I said, if you are sick and tired of bullshit, imagine a place with like-minded people leveling up through truth, who understand these epiphanies, who actually have built connections and socialized better through the community as a result. That's the no bullshit society for you. One of the greatest inventions I've ever had. It's free to join. The link is in the description and pinned comment below. Level up through truth and actually find people who understand this and don't get offended by it. Now, ironically, I'm not a misanthrope. And neither are you. You're just fed up. You're tired. And maybe people weren't necessarily the root of your problems. Maybe life hit you hard. Like I said, with all those things. And I've left something out. Then, share it below. In fact, share why you avoid people now. But also, don't just do so in a black pill doomer way. Share why it's actually benefited your life. And don't bullshit. Tell the truth. With a smaller circle and me being more selective with my time and energy, I've protected the most rarest and wonderful commodity of all, that is often overlooked when we people please. That's my peace. And peace is addictive. Peace is addictive. Going and driving off into the countryside and turning my phone off is pure bliss. Being away from everyone and anyone, paradise. That's my vibe. And like I said, it's not necessarily just people. It's the stresses and burdens of life. So what age are you? And why do you avoid people? Share it below, because you might inspire someone to change their life for the better as a result.